watch creation occur in a way that has never occurred before. A love story where everyone awakens as one, where the circuit has been completed, and an even grander creation begins. And this unfoldment on planet Earth is the grandest event which has ever occurred in all of creation. A new reality is here.
Everybody.
Ding ding ding.
Woo woo.
Ding.
Welcome.
What up? What up?
Welcome to the Ascension gathering with Kat, myself, and Elle.
Hello.
From the First Contact Ground Group team. Grand Rising, beautiful Thursday, Heart Chakra Day, green and pink, and much love.
One love.
Awesome.
One heart. Let's get together and feel all right.
Everything's gonna be alright. Love you, Marcel. Share the beautiful stream. That's what I'm gonna do right now. Nice. How are you guys feeling out there? Morning, Rob. Welcome everyone to Telegram. Beautiful. Let me share. Sharing is caring. Not only with the stream, but anything that you experience, for example, that's magical, synchronicity, stuff like that. Share your happenings. We definitely had beautiful things just coming up more and more. Jacqueline shared this morning a beautiful experience where she listened to a video of Mom's where she described inner earth and how it is there. In one of the last streams where she was like on the phone answering questions, and that was yesterday, and that night she was able to see clouds lifting in a long while, and then a copper colored sunset with Mount Olympus where she is. So very blessed, beautiful sharing. Thank you so much. And I hope for all of you that you can see those magical things, that you can just appreciate that beauty out there in those really high energies incoming. I definitely find my peace outside.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, what else is there to do? I've been noticing that just as things happen and things go on, I mean, the best thing to do is just go outside. I mean, there's not, like, walk away from it, go outside, just stop entertaining something that isn't making you happy. I mean, we got to deal with things too and push through them, and it's not going to always be the most joyful thing. And then you get through it, with someone or something, and a task, a goal, or whatever. And then I feel through that, you end up being very grateful. And that's what I feel we all have to realize, is that it's talking about joy and being in joy, 100%, highest vibration. Does everyone really get to joy? True, real joy. Can you? Yes. And ultimately, how? Through gratitude. Gratitude's right there. And I feel that that's why things happen. That's why, I've tapped in a lot on certain situations where I'm like, what do I do? And it's like, you have to work through this. You have to figure it out. You have to move in a direction where it works. And that's a big challenge, big test. And then I feel I'm more grateful in the, through it all, that, we can overcome those obstacles and, get over things. Because does it really matter, the crap that you're going through with someone else or in your own life? I mean, you can make it better. You can always make something better. You can always get grander. You have to empower yourself to overcome it. You can't keep on, calling out your victim card or judging yourself. You have to just get beyond that and observe what's happening. And I feel just overcome, like that's the whole entire point of being alive, is to overcome blocks and obstacles and be grateful for that, and, and give yourself that pat on the back when you accomplish something. That's a big one. You can't just keep on, doing beautiful things and never reflecting on the fact that you're doing them, and, give yourself the reward. Like that's what you're training yourself for, is for beautiful, positive, grand things to happen. So you just accomplished that task, or you just got home from work and it's been a good day and you got a lot done. Have that piece of chocolate. Like that's at least what I do. Things like that. Use whatever it is that you like to use that brings you joy. Go sit in that hot tub for however,
Right.
whatever it is that you love to do. Stop judging yourself for it, or telling yourself, well, I gotta do this and I gotta do that. I would always do stuff like that where I go, but I gotta do this now, and I gotta do that now, and I gotta do that now. And then I would go in reflection and be like, but why is this happening? And I just started to realize that no matter what anyone else is doing, whether they're conscious or not of their, connection that they're trying to make, I realized that I can't let that affect me. And that maybe I need to push a little bit more. In other words, get some tasks done early when no one's up, or when everyone's getting up, so that later on in the day, I'm, can't be as distracted because I've already accomplished the goal. That's exactly what happened today. I knew I needed to get some stuff done and send some emails and things like that, and made sure I did it in the morning quickly. And I feel like that time in the morning is just so precious. So whatever you got to do to get on point and get on track to serve, do that, because that's the point. And in the morning, you're the most fresh, you're the most creative, you're the most capable, you're the most everything. So don't just use that time to, lollygag or, do whatever. Do your simple disciplines to get back into the present moment, and then ride that all day. Yeah.
Nice. I keep hearing the morning is when you set the pace for the day. And it's really, really that. Like, if you start your day already with the intention of just like motivation, and if you're honest, I don't know how your experience is, but many share, and it's my experience too, that especially in the morning, it's just thoughts directly trying to come in and hit you, or an unpleasant message on your phone, and that's the first thing we do. We grab that phone and we look through those messages, sometimes not even out of bed, and allow all those external things to be there already. Meanwhile, we didn't even woke up fully yet.
Right.
And that's something that Mom shared a lot too, where she said, get up, jump in the shower, and then start the day with joy, and whatever helps you to have that joy. And I loved a lot how you said, earlier, where we can't, pat yourself on the shoulder, because we've been trained and conditioned, like literally conditioned, to get this validation from the outside. To get told we did this good and that good, and if we don't get this from the external, the mind very much, gets upset and offended, because the mind doesn't love itself. The mind hates itself. It, comes with a lot of self-hatred, so it needs from the external some sort of validation. And that's a beautiful step to really realize that you are your divine cheerleader, and only you can light that fire within you that keeps you thriving. Only you know your true passion, and only your heart can tell you your true worth. And that doesn't look like any of what worth is in order of society, for example. Like, just looking back at my life and how many different jobs I had and stuff like that, it doesn't look so well on this repertoire. People like to see, your good college degree and whatever, and then you have a solid job for years and you level up and then you get a manager position, stuff like that. But that's this like 3D linear thing. And I very early like broke out of it and was like, you know what, I'm going to do what really brings me joy. So I worked at a tattoo shop. I worked with horses, professional rider. I dove into financing even for 3 months and kind of like learned the system, realized real quickly it's not mine. And it's a big step to really be your own cheerleader and be confident enough to do what brings you joy and change when something doesn't bring you joy. And there is no one telling you that you can't change your profession after 12 years in the same company. Ding. Reminds me of your mom, for example, and my dad also, who, that generation, they're very similar in age. They work and then they know they get their benefits. And if you, retire at that age, you'll get, the retirement and health stuff, all those little things and treats that the system hangs like a carrot on the stick in front of the donkey. That, it's hung in front of sheeple. They're like, longing for this external safety, working, for years and years and years, giving themselves up, not honoring themselves. And I know it myself where, you push through things physically, for example, you go through because you have to get that job done. And the biggest value, for you is your vessel and your health and you as a person. So that's something that I saw within a generation of my parents, how they gave themselves up a lot for that system and the safety in the system. And it's all falling down anyways right now. Like everything's changing. So coming away from that and being independent, self-sufficient, being able to, for example, produce the food that you need. I saw yesterday a TikTok video from someone really brilliant where she literally, like in 1 year, grows and conserves all the food, everything homegrown that they need for a whole year. So from grow season to grow season. That was brilliant.
Yeah.
Carrots, potatoes, green beans, peas, like all those things all in the, big mason jars, and amazing. And she's saying like, you stretch every dollar you use because all you pay really is for the seeds, for example, or you have your own seeds. And then you don't pay anything for the food that Mother Earth is growing with you in co-creation in abundance. So that's, I feel, something real beautiful to see how people more and more get away from being dependent on external things and becoming more independent with what is already there in abundance. Yay. Good morning, everyone. Oh no, there's a small. Are you a serious elf?
Am I a serious elf? I'm just sharing.
Nice. Yeah, you gotta be concentrate to hit all the group buttons and share everything. It's been really calm if you look in towards the Schumann resonance, as far as you can see right there right now, which is just, the blue and a slight green grid in the background. But don't underestimate that, because so much energies are coming in with like solar flares. Freaking SpaceX launched 49 of their new satellites, and 40 got so bad affected by this sea storm that they were literally like unusable now. Like they're broken, whatever. Like
what happened? Like what do you mean?
They launched 49 of the SpaceX satellites, and that was right when this like geostorm was vettering, I guess. And in some sort of effect that broke 40 of those satellites.
Okay.
So those energies are definitely real that are incoming, and I personally feel them physically a lot. The last 3 days was a lot of like back pains, shoulders, headache, and hips. I don't know how you guys are feeling, but no matter how extreme those physical symptoms they're all part of the ascension and ascension symptoms. So many articles in regards of those solar storms, the Schumann, and those increasing frequencies, especially in this like portal, huge portal we are right now from the 2nd to the 22nd of February. They're really upgrading and bringing in those high frequencies. And I did find a beautiful channeling or article someone wrote. I've been sharing a couple of things from him. He's German and has a German website. Everything is Energy, it's called, in the German link. And yeah, let me just read it. He's diving into that as well. It's the daily energy for February 10th. Further in-depth cleansing processes are in full swing. With today's daily energy on February 10th, 2022, we continue to move through the extremely purifying and transformative month of February, still experiencing profound changes and detachments within our own energy system. More and more shadows, which in turn weighed on our hearts in the past and deny us the opportunity to revive a state of absolute purity and mastery, are clearing and exposing our true being more and more. The month of February, or especially this month of February 2022, is hard to beat in terms of intensity. Our entire systems are truly completely flushed through. We are massively cleansed, which means that a lot of unredeemed things want to be clarified. As I said, this process, the profound purification of our soul being, is also an unavoidable consequence of the current ages of awakening and is of utmost importance for the entire human civilization, so that together we can dissolve the anchoring within the density more and more. In this regard, the collective wants to rise up and accordingly release its greatest potential, which ultimately refers to the return of the most holy state, the highest self-image, state as source anchoring within the divine presence. It is precisely for this reason that we repeatedly experience phases in which heavy energies are released from our systems, which in turn creates more space for lightness and allows us to realign ourselves internally. And in this month of purification, this process is at its peak, especially the 16th full moon and the 22nd, will again represent special key days within this cleansing phase. The deep cleansing of our entire energy and cell environment is comparable to a strong detoxification, usually through a natural diet in combination with fasting and intake of appropriate supportive remedies, or we can release from the depth of our tissue firmly anchored and difficult to dissolve substances. So it is this cleansing, and we can totally support that with fasting, with a garlic cleanse, for example, a increased intake of water. And he says, so now truly deep-seated blockages and shadows on our part should be released so that we may become even more capable of bringing in divine and all its special quality to life in us. And it's a little bit longer, but I definitely want to hit the next part too, where he quotes a text from a other German web page, and it says, I was waiting for the right moment to publish this information, and today the moment has come. Of course, there is a new Of course, there are new dimension portals every day, and there are more and more, but in this month of February, there are so many. You could say that the whole month is a huge multi-dimensional portal. The dimensional openings, which are concentrated from the 2nd to the 22nd, are at its limit. What does it mean? They reach dilation peaks that exceed the previously used threshold. That's because the planet's frequencies are increasingly in line with the frequencies of our largest source of energy, the central sun, the shining eye of the galaxy. They are tuned to each other because the frequency of the planet is now also nourished by the soul's vibrations of those who have awakened and were activated before the earth fed us to help us awaken our consciousness. The energy is so high and it forces you to shed your old skin. That is why the small deaths of the ego occur constantly within our illusionary reality. The personality, parts of us that never really belong to us, are dying, information related to the family and collective karma that settles in our wounds. All these burdens must be dissolved by first healing ourselves from the lack of love, the liberation of the ancestors through forgiveness, and finally, by freeing ourselves and breaking the last chains that still bind us to them in suffering. This supple cleansing destabilizes those who have a lot to heal because it is intense and very fast, but it brings relief and more strength to those who have already healed a lot. Woo!
Yay.
Wow, I love, especially in his quoted text, the syncs with like the great galactic sun, because that's what Mom said to the great galactic sun and the source of energy, and how the heart of her creation, planet Earth, is literally, aligning with these frequencies. Little ego deaths in every day, every moment. You can be triggered in your control, for example, and you have to let that part of you die. You realize new awareness that you've not known before, and a part of you died and a new part awakened. So allow that process of cleansing and clearing and activation. The more we get into this empty space within, we allow love and light and the divine to enter, and then we can fully surrender to that, and only grandness awaits.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay.
Thank you all.
Wow. Yes. Thank you to those who are actually here. Rather than anyone else who's here and obviously doesn't care.
It's so funny because we were just like the chat that we have, the big group chat we have in the on Telegram, and like all this weird stuff that's like shared, like so much weird stuff's happening. It's crazy. What is really cool is in the Netherlands they have started to work on the end of the mandates. So by the end of the month, no sea passport, no restrictions or mandates. So go Netherlands. I love that country. Been there many times, just for vacation. It's so beautiful there. On the flip side, you have France, for example, is getting karma right now, where a big like money printing company, connected to a bank, where literally money is being printed, is on fire.
Really?
Yep, burned, I feel like yesterday or something, so that's kind of funny. And then another thing with France, what was it? I don't know where my book is. But just funny to see like that karma kind of just being played out, like the money isn't real. And then the other thing were nuclear cells, so like power plants, nuclear reactors. They will shut down 3 more, because that's something I know from Germany as well. Like those nuclear reactors and stuff, they were built many freaking years ago, and that's kind of the standard where they're at. And they have to realize that one day or the next, they have to feel into what to do with like the waste or just like that nuclear stuff that they're working on, and they lose quality and safety. So they start to shut them down. I know in Germany back then have been quite quite a few, if six or so, that they shut down because there were simply never safety, and they said they're going to check them on safety status and, you know, upgrade and shit like that. But I don't even know if they did. So I would wonder if, you know, step by step, that kind of stuff, for example, is being literally taken off the grid, like in France, because as well, like, it's not real. It's not, I mean, they started to split atoms, and now they have this like highly nuclear atomic waste that they don't even know what to do with. It's so ridiculous to me. But it will all be, you know, dissolved. Same with like the entire hills of trash and stuff that are just dumped upon the planet. And it's time where we have to realize that that's just the external representation of our inner being. You know, we walk around with a lot of crap, and we just, you know, throw trash sometimes. If you don't really heal yourself and look inside, and you live in those, you know, limits of wounds of, you know, oh, I don't know, I was betrayed by men or women, you know, like those kind of dramas too, and now you can't trust anyone anymore, and a lot of blame, for example, held by the feminine towards the masculine, vice versa. There's so many, you know, power over dramas being played out in 3D that is just like, you know, that trash. And that's where we have to get to, and really we can't start trying to remove the physical trash out there. Is a lot, but we can go internally and really look at our own crap and don't run anymore. And I feel that's just such an important part right now within those portals, to ask for that awareness, to ask, you know, where am I at? Like, this feeling that I have right now, where does it really stem from, and where it is rooted? And that's really amazing. We had a beautiful talk the other day of, like, you know, simply our parents and their dynamics and how we experienced that, how they were with us, because all those things affect you as who you are now. And that's something that I learn every day new of, like, oh wow, that's the way my mom would, like, you know, act right now. And I'm like, shit.
It's always the thing, you know, everyone's like, I'll never become my parents, or I don't want to become my parents. And then you become your parents because, you know, that's what you know. That's what you're aware of. That's what you were around the majority of your lifetime, when you were very susceptible to everything going on around you. So then, yeah, you know, 20, 30 years old, next thing you know, this is happening, that's happened. You're like, oh man, I'm doing it. And then a lot of people, at least from what I understand, you know, will have children and then treat the children similar, and then they'll have that breakdown moment, like, oh God, I became my such and such. Oh no, I'm a horrible person. You know, so I really feel that that's the whole entire point of the Ascension, is to get out of all the learning that you got from your parents. And I mean, it's just so simple to me. It comes back to, you know, taking even just the money aspect out of it. But books like Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki would talk about how you can be dumb and be born into a rich family and still be wealthy. And you can be ridiculously smart and you can be born into a poor family and still end up poor. And it's simply because of the habits and behaviors that you get from those parents. Because you don't have to be smart to just do like a fucking monkey, simply. I mean, that's what it really is, because it's just you do those particular things, and that's how then you can build your wealth, at least in that regard. It's the same thing with spirituality. You know, you have to be around people who are doing the work. And if you grew up with people who didn't do the work, they didn't see their own souls, you know, they didn't learn how to stay peaceful and stay in love, then you have to go find people that are. And if you can't, then, you know, just be alone. I mean, I don't know what else to say anymore. You gotta live your life, but find a way to live your life.
And I feel that phase of, you know, being by yourself is really important in many ways. I know, you know, growing up, I lived with my family/parents until I was like, I don't know, 18 or 19 or something. And then I moved out in like, you know, a living together situation with other beings. We were literally like living at work, like on the barn, on the property of the land. And from there, I always had like roommates or something. And one time I know I like lived by myself in a situation of my life where I was just like completely draining myself. I left that one job and started something else where I was manager of a barn and had a really just like crazy toxic boss. I tended to manifest them, beautiful reflections that I learn now to reflect even on those people.
Yeah.
And I didn't do well. Like in those moments, I was really completely living alone. I didn't do well. And I went back, when I was, I don't know, 20, 22 or something, I went back to living with other people because like that is what I knew back then saves me. And when I say I didn't do well when I was living by myself, I had bulimia and other dysfunctional food habits and all kind of crap. And I felt better around other people until I like realized that no matter where I am, even though I feel better with other people, but it's because it's kind of suppressed, like what comes to me, that like darkness within me that wants to harm myself, like that, the self-hatred and unworthiness and stuff like that. It's still there, but you don't realize it as much because, there's other people, for example, cooking. Like in my case, there was someone cooking and you had, more routine with the food, but it's not real because the moment I left that situation and was kind of on my own again for a little phase, I like dipped low and then started to share my experience. And I started to talk to people. I started to talk with my sister about it, who was shocked back then because I was able to hide all of that so well. And that was, I feel, the moment I was really starting to stop running from it and turning around and being like, all right, what's really there? And I had a, beautiful experience throughout my life where no matter when I was like very close of actually, suicide or something like that, I would hear this feminine voice. I would literally hear this feminine voice of like, I need you here. You got purpose. You don't have, like, this is not right. This is not the moment. So here I am now. And the moment I heard, or found after, being in a marriage for a couple of years and then living again by myself, I found those live streams and I found, all of you. I found a woman that is able to hold Mother God essence. And when I first heard her voice, it was the freaking same voice I've been hearing years and years for my life. So that's just a very magical, deep experience that I had that made me so just like committed to truth that I'm, even now after God ascended, and that's, one thing that we all feel and know in our heart, it's still the mission. And we have those experiences for a reason to share them, to stand up and be like, yo guys, like you don't have to be, pulled down in this victim mode of all those horrible things in your life. You gotta get empowered. You're able to heal your heart. There's so much going on, and the moment you start to connect the dots of, prime source and what was really missing on the planet, this motherly love that is nourishing and caring and just giving you this big old hug with the biggest forgiveness and compassion that we sometimes need, for our soul. And it's a big process to heal from the wound of like kind of never having a mother to all of a sudden having a mother, like even spiritually, like I'm not talking about us as this, physical humans, but our souls have been living in a reality of no mother. And you can imagine what it does to a child living up without a mother. And now it's the same for us. We're all children of God. And now to come to realization that there is both. There's parents, mother and father. There's a whole family. And that whole family is nothing like a 3D family looks like. It can be a random person across the freaking globe. This morning I connected to Jessica, who and her husband found the streams a couple moments ago, and keep watching them. Love you so much. They hold the light, they do the work, and this morning we connected real randomly. And it just lit me up. It just excited me so much to feel this other being that also stepped in the truth and is awakening and is, you know, hiring the vibes and working on self-healing every day. And that's a love deeper than any 3D family love. So I'm very, very grateful for all of those experiences, for all of you listening as part of this family, watching as part of this family. And it's exciting to be here all together in these intense times. Love you all.
I don't know what's going on anymore.
Yay, love you, Danielle.
Pew 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 pew. That's Rob just said pew pew. I don't know. I don't know. You tell me. You tell me. I mean, I don't know what else to say anymore to people.
Ha ha ha.
Get it
That's
done?
funny.
Yeah, it got weird.
Someone says toxic customers too. I worked in a bar when I was in college. Drunk men take liberties. That's a good point to touch on though, because I worked on a bar myself for many years as like a bar manager in this nightclub in Germany, and the energies there are really intense if you feel into it, because like, you know, people consume alcohol, so they literally like bath in unconsciousness, and that's when like drunk people start fights and, you know, like get crazy, do all this dumb stuff because they're so unconscious. And if you don't know about certain energetic laws, I would say, yes, it can affect you. You can, you know, like feel it and everything, but something that I didn't know back then and definitely know now is you can cut those cords. Like you can literally kind of put yourself in this bubble where their energy doesn't affect you. And that's, you know, part of the mastery that he talked to in the article, cutting those cords and really being even energetically, you know, your self-sufficient, independent energy source and cycle. There was this beautiful video, I see if I can pull it up, I feel so, where he's talking about the field, what is it called, toroid?
The video you showed me?
Yeah.
You have to play that.
Good.
Okay, so you talk about that while I say this for a second, or you find that.
Yeah, because it is.
So I've talked to a master before who has seen with their third eye what it looks like above a bar. So what this being saw was everyone's disembodied souls above the bar. So from what it seems, when you drink in unconsciousness, when you used alcohol in unconsciousness, it takes your soul out of your body. Now, you know, I feel that you can have that happen and you can be unconscious and not realize it's happening, or you can be very conscious and utilize it as that tool. Because, you know, a lot of people who use alcohol or any other tool as a way to cope, right? That they are in some way, shape, or form numbing, or they're not dealing with, so they use that as a substitute rather than dealing with it. Now, if you're dealing with things, and I would say that in this case with alcohol, you're in pain, and you can't get access to other things that help assist with that pain, it's a good pain reliever. That's what we used to give people when we would do surgeries on them, right? Back hundreds plus years ago, you would give someone a little whiskey if you had to pull that tooth out, you know, and so it's the same thing, you know, still. And I feel that if you're utilizing it in the correct way, you can actually utilize that ability to have the soul come out, to kind of get a higher perspective on things, you know, to let some things go. But most people don't do that. Most individuals are utilizing it as a crutch, and many other things on top of that, because they don't want to deal with something. And I feel that's the thing, because I had never heard that before until the master shared that with me, that the soul seemed to kind of like, you know, and that's kind of like the dream realm. That's what happens in dream. Your soul leaves the body so that it can go experience things. That's why you end up going totally out, right? When you get paralyzed in sleep, your body naturally will put your body completely in paralysis so that you don't move while you go into those deep states of dreaming. So, very fascinating stuff when it comes down to it. And, it's all about being responsible, with it all. So, but you never know. I ultimately feel that you do whatever it is that you feel to do. Because everyone's different, and I can't say that this is going to work for you or that's not going to work for you. It's up to you. And if anyone has great experiences, please share them. Let us know how it's going, what you're utilizing to assist yourself moving forward. So
Whee!
It looks like we found the video.
But that's actually not that. It's not the video that I was talking about. I feel with the torso and energy
where's that?
field. It's a good question.
It's in the chat that you sent to me.
Did I? Well, I pulled up another video there it is.
But I like the other video, and I can explain the other video, and it was
cool.
And it has the
let's do this one.
And the guy talking is the head professor for the philosophy department at fucking Harvard.
Ooh, all right.
That's who that guy is, and like
it's this one right here.
That was brilliant.
In the same way that the
similarity between the...
Hold on.
One moment, please.
Here we go. All right, everybody.
Thanks, Kat. Excited for this one.
Let me put it... Yeah, that's fine. Oops.
same way that the torus is both distinct and unified. In human terms, we are all simultaneously both distinct individuals and one human family. Philosopher Ashok Gangadine explains how this can be.
So imagine at the core space of where we process our experience. And remember, all of our worldviews are in this space. We feel lonely and isolated and often impotent, so we're locked in. And our different worldviews compete for that space, for dominance. And so there's a lot of violence, chronic violence, and breakdown of relationships.
Ashok found the torus to be the first accurate scientific model that shows how each of us is a distinct individual, but also completely interconnected with all existence.
That this is already surrounded in the space of deep interconnectivity, of infinite boundless, Indra's net, the logosphere, whatever name, with a holistic field of deep interconnectivity where there are no more separated objects, but dynamic, toroidal, interconnected, fractal fields of energy, that we are already always surrounded. We ourselves right here, right now, always in this logosphere or this field of interconnectivity. So that you and I, in our conversation, our dialogue, are not separate objects cut off by dynamic interconnected fields. And this is where knowledge and science and compassion and human relations and love all can take place. And this has been the cumulative teaching of all of our teachings for the centuries. That's really suggesting that humanity must move and expand and mature for survival and thrival.
Woo!
These two bad guys talk about history repeat.
Oh no.
In the same way that the torus...
I love this stuff. I love it. Yeah, I didn't. You can't all start finding good things before stream, and I love looking over it all. I mean, that right there, to me, I have a lot with this because I have a degree in philosophy, and exactly what that man, who is the head of the philosophy department at Harvard, exactly what he said. Okay, I was explaining these things to my colleagues, right, in my group, and I was like shit on for it. I mean, they were like, "You're ridiculous." I mean, and that's because the department, the head of that department, was a strict evolutionist scientist who did not involve himself in any of that stuff at all. And the one person that did is the one person I talked to, but even then it came down to kind of like an argument really about different viewpoints. And and that's the thing, it's everyone has different differentiating opinions. I feel we're going to move out of saying that as much and realize everyone has a different aura. Everyone has a different energy. Everyone has their own unique signature. And so we're always going to find ways to combat and fight and argue and war if we want, right? War is over if you want it to be. Thank you, John Lennon. Okay? Thank you, Ashtar Command. Because we don't have to keep engaging in it. And that's the biggest lesson I've been learning over these past few moments, past few weeks. And I, of course, knew all this stuff already, yet knowing something and fully feeling it and getting that light bulb moment are two different things. Yeah. You got to connect the heart to the brain in order to have that light bulb moment. You have to connect the feeling to the actual brain waves, the brain signature, the actual pathways, neurons. It all has to fire at the same time to get that light bulb. That's what that is. So otherwise, you just got to really realize you don't need to entertain the crap, because they're, just from the video we just saw, your auras are all interconnected. So if a hole comes into that, if arguing starts occurring, it starts breaking down the connection that you both have. I mean, look at it as that light that you just saw. For anyone that didn't see it on Telegram, he was showing, sitting next to each other, a ball of light, and then through that, the aura of it starts coming out. The color of it starts coming out like a toroidal field. And through that, you start seeing how the two guys are connected. And he had a great thing at one point where he says, we think that we're disconnected. And he puts his hand in front of him and the other guy. And then the stream of light stops. You see it in the video. The stream of light stops. He's holding his light back. But then when he moved his hand, then the stream started happening again. And that's the representation of how we stop the connection with someone. We get nervous. We get uncomfortable. This, that, the other thing. Guess what? Your body acts the same way when it's nervous as when it's excited. So if you're feeling that cold, clammy feeling, that nervous, you're like shit, whatever, you could be excited. And you choose that point, love or fear, because you can go into the fear and be like, because I've done it too, where I'm like, what's going on with me? You're excited. You're simply excited. It's a new, unknown adventure. So you have to dive into the unknown with excitement to have that energy that's the love of life, to keep going and experience it. Otherwise, you'll just hold yourself back, be disempowered, and never do anything that brings you ultimate joy, because you're not following your bliss. You're not following that guidance. That it's the bliss. You got to follow your bliss. Simply put.
Whee!
Simply put.
Brilliant. Yeah, I totally love that video. And I don't know if I found it in a 5D Full Disclosure group, but I will post it there again for you all to look at, because the visualization of it is really amazing. We have some other videos for you. Next up is a beautiful message from Mama Creator called Activations for the New Earth. And I don't know yet what she's gonna say, but I feel it's gonna be on point. Angels picked this one. Enjoy.
A message from the Earth Allies. An invocation for these new Earth energies coming in. The following words are actually encoded into your DNA as activation points for manifestation. As you listen, you are also bringing forth these creative energies into your being. As above, so within. With the deepest gratitude, the highest and purest intent for the grandest and highest good of all. On this day, love, we release everything that no longer serves us for the greater good of the all, so the grandest, highest outcome for the betterment of all humanity may manifest. Thank you for this moment of now, for we are letting go and letting love be in charge. We are becoming the true reality of who we really are, human angels. Thank you, love, for blessing us in this release of all which is not of pure love as effortlessly as possible. Thank you for your constant and loving support as we shine our lights, live our truths with courage and confidence. Thank you for all the help and guidance we have been receiving as we step out of illusion and home into true reality, connecting us to our real and true selves. Thank you, love, for the return to completeness, wholeness, balance, and pureness, perfectly aligned in this beautiful master plan as the next level of creation begins in the unknown. Thank you, as we meld with the universe back into the one, and for the belly of laughter as we each take off our masks, aka ego, remembering we were just playing a game of illusion. Thank you, love, for setting in front of us real reality. A true reality of creation, heaven on earth, where we are all living in true peace, harmony, fully supported in our I am presence. Thank you, love, for this grand opportunity to create heaven on earth, to fully awaken as human angels into full consciousness. Thank you for the outpouring of unconditional love, joy, happiness, miracles, and grandness. We all watch in amazement and deep gratefulness as the divine plan unfolds before our eyes. Thank you for the smooth and effortless transition into the new earth, and for guiding us with grace and gratitude. Thank you for the return of pure love, pure essence, and for the abundance of unconditional love, peace, harmony, joy, which is flowing through us now. This is just the beginning of a new, beautiful journey together as one within creation. All of us now are each taking our unique roles as instruments of love and fulfilling our contracts and purpose in service to love everywhere present on this planet. Thank you as we release today any and all which does not serve us, and the all for the highest good at all times. So, as we become the human angels we are destined to be. Let us bathe in the great love that we are. Let us play like children underneath the waterfalls and rainbows and trees. Let us dance with the unicorns and give and receive love freely. Let us sing with the animals and all of creation. Let us swim in the oceans with the dolphins. Let our laughter carry us in sweetness and unity, as we are the examples of joy, love, and peace. Let us play in the soft grass with freedom of expression and pure ecstasy, in our love for ourselves, for each other, and the love for all. Thank you for this new earth where we can be who we truly are as gods and goddesses. For this is our vision becoming a true reality. We are now prepared to become the greatest, grandest vision of ourselves we can be. To experience again in a new way, the true way of love called God everywhere present. Thank you for this new earth in which supports life, supports abundance for all, freedom, equality, and oneness. We are ready, with our hearts open to receive, to begin manifesting a new story, one of peace, harmony, joy, unconditional love, abundance, and grandness. Thank you for the now, in which we are creating a paradise of heaven on earth. Thank you for the amazing and wonderful messages, processes, and events leading to our destination, home. Now we can see each other in our highest lights and highest truths as we cross the rainbow bridge that has been completed so that all may walk home into the light. And so it is as above, as it is within, and forever, eternally. The present moment of now is the eternal, forever moment of now. And always from this moment on. And so it is done. Love unconditionally, the Earth Allies.
Woo! Grander. Beautiful. There we go. All right. That's an amazing video. There we go.
Nice. More video?
Love you all. No, just get out of it.
I see.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
if that wasn't a grand confirm and also a grand gratitude prayer, I don't know, but we have love you. What is it? Jiggling Janet?
Yeah.
We
Janet's
have
cool. Love Janet.
Lamber on Telegram with hand up. I'm gonna allow you to speak. All right. You can unmute yourself if you want to speak. Hello,
Good
Grand.
morning.
How are you, love?
I'm not too bad at Muslim experiences and everything everybody is, the symptoms. Can I ask you a question about the heart chakra?
Mm-hmm.
What do you recommend for calming down the heart chakra?
If you feel like your heart racing and stuff,
Yes.
awesome. So what it is, it can be like literally a influx of energy when like, you know, a lot comes in. So I feel the first step is a very calm breathing in through the nose and really envision it to come in your heart chakra and breathing out through the mouth. Just with the intention of bringing in peace and calmness, and how Elle said earlier, sometimes it's this like excitement energy coming up. So
Okay.
don't be, you know, afraid that it is like something nervous or anxiety. And I feel grounding maybe, like
And
just really
like rose quartz.
rose quartz is beautiful.
Rose quartz. Wear a necklace of rose quartz. I love rose quartz. Very subtle, transformation. Very calm. For the heart. And yeah, I'd agree with the grounding. I get that a lot. I've had a lot of heart palpitations throughout my whole life. And yeah, I feel the grounding's important. It was worse when I was younger and wouldn't go outside as much.
Okay.
And just like breathing deeply, like making sure you're giving yourself a breath break to calm down the heart. And because it's really, that's the thing. Once you get caught on something, it's really difficult to get off of it, and even to try to not think about it or not, have thoughts about it is even more difficult. So it's just finding something that brings you calm, peace, go to your happy place. Those are the few things I would say that you can do in your own moments. There's probably an herb too that's good. I'm getting pinged on a lot of herbs and herbal supplements, but I mean it's just an idea. I don't know what would be good for heart palpitations.
Rosehip.
Wasn't it like that the leaf the lettuce that we the pills for the lettuce,
the
wild lettuce?
That's more for like the lungs.
Okay.
Yeah, but I feel any sort of calming tea, lavender, chamomile, rosehip came to me too.
Yeah. Someone said.
What do you think about nettle tea?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nettle is also really good to just like detox a lot. So, yeah. I hope that answers the question.
You know, guys, I don't normally suffer with anything like that. I'm usually an outgoing individual, quite active. You know, I felt an energy come in last night, and I could feel it around the heart area.
Mm-hmm.
So I woke up obviously in the middle of the night, and it's like, you know, do you know the way you hear yourself, like inside the body just bouncing? So, you know, the energies are very high at the moment, aren't they? It's solar energies that are affecting us more, yes?
Absolutely.
And something's happening because the Schumann is not registering all the energy coming in. But I know
it seems calm, but
it's not calm. I mean, I've been doing my best to stay calm, yet even the littlest things, or like anything that still kind of gets me, has been coming in, yet positive things have happened. But we talk about from the girl in the universe a lot, and she had explicitly said this from yesterday, that the energy was not being registered by the Schumann because it was so high, and that we, you know, stay grounded, stay centered, and there's going to be some ascension symptoms, you know, and that's a part of it. The palpitations are a part of it.
Yeah, and the heart is kind of, you know, where it all begins to, you know, to open up fully. And Jenna said that garlic and turmeric.
Mm-hmm.
Always really good. Garlic, turmeric.
Turmeric's so essential. We were talking about this and how turmeric's not in our diet. Usually, you know, in America or in Europe or in, you know, a lot of places of the Western world, and that it's a big thing of the Eastern world, and that they have, I forget what exactly, but they have a lot less health issues, certain particular ones, because of the turmeric, because it's anti-inflammatory, because it's antimicrobial, because it's, you know, antifungal, and all those things. And yeah, the garlic too. I knew a guy, man, who would just fucking swallow a whole clove of garlic every day, and he never got sick. He was like 40, 50 maybe. I probably older, you know, like looked good. And he worked at the food line in college, so he was always making omelets and stuff and just sweating himself, but he was always happy and good. So like, and that was years ago, and we recommend the garlic a lot, and that's a lot to just swallow it. You know, you don't have to do that.
It's not as spicy.
No, but it'll help with the heart for sure.
Awesome. Yeah, and just know that it is all part of the process.
Yeah, you're going through it.
Very good, very good.
Awesome. We love you.
I want to say thank you, because you're very good at giving information and advice, and, you know, it's very important for people to actually tune in and listen.
True, so true. Thank you for being here, and thank you for contributing and sharing.
Yeah, thank you for calling in, man. You know, I love your questions.
Thank you again, guys. Yeah?
Say again.
I say thank yous again.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome. Much love. Awesome.
God bless. Thank you.
God bless you, my brother.
We're all so blessed, and we are blessed with a big variety of workshops.
Yeah.
And trainings and ways you can level up and learn more about your soul and energy. We have the quantum healing with George, which is kind of like a beginner's workshop, you know, for quantum energy healing. 10 live workshops on that, where you get the training materials. You'll have a 5D body intelligence training, sacred symbols, geometry, 5D healing techniques, crystal heart activations. All that kind of stuff is in the quantum healing package. Then we have another course or workshop, which is the Awakening 101, and which I'm really excited about, the 13D astrology. The Awakening 101 is a 10 online courses class where you get all the tools, techniques, really learn about what's the ego mind, how to get out, how to connect to angels and all that kind of stuff. And the astrology obviously explains everything of like the traditional astrology and 13D astrology, so New Earth. It is a mini course on each sign, each house, training materials for that, and training on the interpretation of those charts. So everyone who always wanted to just dive into astrology, like myself, this it will be with Eora, and I'm super excited for that, and just learn more and understanding. I love reading horoscopes or like the astrologies, but really fully understanding and understanding that it's just a new level of divine intelligence. So pick your course, pick your workshop. Everything is on the 5D Full Disclosure website, dropping the link right here for everyone to see on Facebook and YouTube. And yeah, thank you all. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching or listening. Thank you for asking those questions. Thank you for letting go of everything that doesn't serve love. Thank you for starting to recycle. Get that trash out that is not love, that doesn't resonate with love, and be open to receive all those blessings and gifts, all of our powers and strength. Like we heard in the video, the human angel beings we are destined to be. Not enslaved in a system, but celebrating and co-creating new earth, because the ending of one is the new beginning for something else. Be excited, stay in high vibes, stay tuned. We'll be back, I feel, with Roadside Nuggets later today. Check out the website for all the courses. Check out the Crystal School, still 50% off the curriculum if you sign up this year. And we love you. We love you so much. Thank you all. Have a wonderful and grand Heart Chakra Day. See you very soon, everybody. Woohoo!